Okay, here we go. This is going to be a tutorial for the OverWatch Adobe After Effects template. Now, I broke it down into folders so you can easily edit the color, change things. So for instance, I have two different glows here. I have deep glow, which does cost if you want to download that. I think it's like $10, $15. And then glow is the regular After Effects glow. Now, then I have like the reflections, the glow shapes. So if I solo that, I have triangles here and this here. And I got the main, should rename that actually, main comp color. We'll just save that color. So this is kind of like the metalish brush metal look for the title. And then I got this blackout. So if you turn on the transparency, you'll see why I have all these different layers and how they all work. And then I got this fabric. Fabric is just a texture that I downloaded, which I forgot where I downloaded the file, but it said it was free to use for copyright or for anything. Yeah, it's like free copyright. But what I did was I adjusted it a little bit. So this is the original. I just wanted it a bit more even, so, and to be tileable. You'll see when I go back. So I made it so there's less notable seams. You can still kind of see it here. Then if I go back into this one, I changed the tint. Yeah, you can totally notice it here. Like it's totally like tiling. But when you darken it, not so much. It's still there. But when you go back into the main or the final composite composition, since I'm only illuminating parts of it, it worked out. So if we turn that off, bring everything back. Also got these spotlights. So if I turn those off, that's just illuminating the background. Now, I had to fake the logo emitting light. This kind of like curvy portion of the OverWatch logo here, and then the little triangles. I had to fake emitting light because Element 3D doesn't emit light, which you do need to be able to edit it this way and change and add your own logo. And optical flares. Yeah, optical flares is also used. So let's get down into editing it so you can have your own logo or your own kind of like YouTube channel name for your Overwatch videos. Okay, so we'll go into, turn off the fabric composition and bring back that toggle the transparency so we don't see that grid. If we go to the blackout here, we'll start with this one first. So I kind of have a Overwatch font that's close, which I believe for commercial purposes you do need a license, but for personal use, it said that you could use it. Okay, so we have this Element 3D layer here, and I got this title and logo. So that's where it's drawing the information from, is these mask layers to create the 3D object. Even though it's black and it doesn't look 3D, it is 3D. You just can't see any of the definition here. So to add your own, so say that we wanted to create our own, just turn this off for now. We'll create a new solid. Then we'll name this cool logo. So what I'm going to do, just to keep it basic, let's just create a, let's just do a square. Yeah, square. And whoops, I want my pen tool. There we go. To say that I kind of wanted these. It's not going to be perfect, but whoop. Yeah, definitely not going to be perfect. Okay, then I'm going to copy, duplicate this mask. Flip it around. Yeah, that's what I'll do just for now. Okay, we want to make sure these other two masks are add. Maybe to give it just a little bit something different. Nope, nope. Oh, make sure you have your layer selected. Whoa, what are you doing? It's weird. Ever since this like recent update, my masks, I'd always have to go back and switch. Like every time I started to edit, yeah, see, every time I start to edit something, it switches to like subtract or something. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe it's holding down a button and it's causing it to switch. Just don't know. Yeah, that'll work. So you have your own logo now, right? But we don't need this to be visually seen, so I just like to turn it off, drag it to the bottom so I know that it's right there. So we have a cool logo. So we go element. I'm going to go to path layer 3. Now you can switch it if you want to go to path layer 1 and delete these other two, or keep it there if you ever want to go back to the original logo. But to make sure we don't mess up this, because we can easily turn these back on, I'm just going to put it on path layer 3 and go to cool logo. Now it's very, oh, maybe I need to also do a title. Yeah, let's do a title too. We'll do some text. I'll use True Play Studios. I'll also use that. And then we'll put that on layer 4. True Play Studios. Turn that off. Okay. Okay. Save the setup. Now, I'm going to turn these layers off. You can also rename them if you want, so you know which one it is. OverWatch _ logo. Whoops. Rename. So we'll just turn those off. Now we'll click on the group folder here and say extrude. Now it's going to be the OverWatch logo again until I switch the extrude from path 1 to path 3. Okay, I'll shrink that, move that up. So, but I'm going to use the title. Okay. Just going to use these other two layers for positioning purposes. And yeah. And then I'll turn that, actually keep that on. We're going to do another extrude and move this to path 4. It's actually in the kind of the same spot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to this extrude here. Actually, I think I need a, yeah, bevel. Before I edit anything though, let's create a folder. Let's rename this True Play Studio TPS. True Play Studios title. Is this the text? Okay, yeah. Let's rename this True Play Studios text. Move that onto the title. I'm going to create another folder. Put this in group folder. Move this one to that one. We're going to name this one True Play Studios. It's not my official logo, but I'm just going to keep it consistent. Logo. Who knows? Maybe that would become my logo. True Play Studios logo. Okay. So to edit kind of like how thick it is, or to adjust like the bezel here, you have to go to your the extrusion layer, and click on the bevel here. And then we can expand it. So maybe about something like maybe like that. Not too thick. But just enough to make it not look flat. We'll go down. So you can have it like a, so this bezel size here adjusts like how big this curve is, this bezel. But to get the reflections that I want to kind of keep it like there. I like to bevel the backside just in case if you ever flip around with the camera, you can get both sides if you want. Okay, but in the segments, I'm going to have it just flat. However, so when you make your mask out in After Effects and it pulls it in, when you start adjusting the bevel, it keeps the position, like expand edges or make them smaller. They start to collide. So make sure when you're like the bevel size, when I did that, it made it closer together. So if you want to keep the bezel size, but without affecting the distance, you could take the bevel edges and just bring them in a little bit. Bezel curve. Okay. Okay. That actually looks kind of cool, actually. Hopefully it turns out pretty cool. So this one's the blackout. Okay. Now I want to apply the same bezel on my letters here. So easy way to do that is if you go to your layer here and click on, not on the material, but on the this T here, the extrusion, and say copy bevel. You can go to this one and say paste bevel. However, I do want the text a little bit thinner though. So I'm going to go to bevel, extrude, and just make this smaller. I don't want it looking too puffy. Puffy? Bubbly. Too bubbly. And then this one, I'm also going to take the bevel size and shrink it down just a little bit. There we go. Now, it's very important to get the positioning right in this first try, because since there are multiple element 3D layers in the, like I have one in blackout, and then it's a separate one in color, and then reflections, and then lighting. It would be a pain if you make one small adjustment and then you have to make that adjustment and paste it back in your other folders. So it's good to get this portion right first before moving on to the next one. Like if you wanted to say, I want a cube. I want another glow light. So you want to add like different designs and elements. So say this will glow. This will glow along with your other elements of your like title. So make sure to add all your elements first, then move on. So, but I like how this looks already. So the first thing I gotta do before pressing OK is take this flat color here and drop it onto both of my titles here, and then press OK. Let's make sure. Okay. It may just need to be a bit larger. So I'm going to I'm actually going to put this on a separate group folder actually. So I'm going to put it above, take these two, put it up to here. Keep doing that. OverWatch. And that one off. Because if you put it in the whole folder, you can actually adjust the whole thing. And it puts the anchor in the middle. So when I scale it, it scales the whole thing at the center point of the 3D space here. Let's try that. Oh! Maybe because I keep doing, let's move this to 2. So this right here, you can have multiple animation group sets. So when you set this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, outside an element, you can animate each of these separate groups separately and have their own kind of like effect to them, animation to them. So I'm going to move Overwatch to 2. That's probably why it's not popping up. There we go. Kind of like spacing here. Yeah, that works. So what we need to do now, since I like the placing and this is what I want, go back in, and to make sure we have the same one, we can create, so if we right click on this and save as model preset. So we say TruePlay Studios OverWatch tutorial OWT. And then in my models folder here, you'll see TruePlay Studios OWT pop up. However, I've noticed when you do the save presets, it doesn't keep the right size. So when we go to the other element 3D layers, it won't line up. All the letters would be out of place, and then you would have to scale it down. It's a lot of work. So let's delete that. Oh, like that. So I press OK, but instead of saving a preset in there, we can go to group 1. No. Utilities. And go to group 1, because we set this 3D folder to group 1. And you can say export OBJ and say generate. If we go to desktop, I'm just going to save it in here as True Play Studios 3D logo. Save. Now, if we go back into this one, the same thing. We'll keep it in this folder though. We'll keep this just in case we need to edit it. Turn those layers off, click on that, and go to import, desktop, logo, okay. Because I did this before and it worked. So instead of, let's go back to the scaling. Let's make this 100%. Let's scale it here. Let's actually scale the individual objects. So I went into each folder and selected the 2 objects by shift clicking. Let's see if this works. Still roughly the same. Now if I say export group 1, go back in. Say import 3D. I guess we're gonna have to do this the hard way. Well, not so hard, but just annoying. So we'll still generate the 3D object. I still find that to be the most consistent way of making sure the size and positioning stays the same between all of the element 3D layers. So we're gonna flip this around, shrink it down. Make sure my positioning is what I like. Just a little bit lower. It worked before. Okay. Yep. Okay. Position, scale, orientation. So essentially what we'll have to do is we can right click and say copy and paste that into the other element 3D there. Okay. So now that we have that, we have our position. We can actually memorize this 40.8. Yeah, 40.8%. You just have to copy the position here. So remembering one number is better than having to remember 2 and which spot. Because these are all the same, we can just say 40.8% and then just copy this. So right click on your position XY, press OK. Then we need to go into the final comp, or the final composite comp, go to main comp color, go to scene setup, import logo, now what it could be, oh no, oh maybe I did run into this problem before. Let's see if it works. So if I turn off this layer and then import it, just delete it altogether. Just want to see if that's what's causing the, nope. Did it? I recorded this tutorial actually before, but after I recorded it, I went to go look at it, and it recorded the wrong monitor, which is funny. Okay. Now we have the logo. We're gonna paste the position. What? Why didn't keep it? It was possibly like 1.40. 40.8. And then it was rotated around. We'll see in a minute. So now that we have that, we're going to bring this clean metal brush texture. Now, if you don't have this when you purchase Element 3D, it's because it's a part of, I think, the Pro Shaders 2, which has a bunch of metal textures on it. It does come with a basic metal, like a chrome and a metal diffused. But that's where I'm getting my metal from, is this metal brush pack, metal pack. C materials, okay. So we're gonna take this clean brush, drop it on. Now, I want to increase the UV repeat a little bit, so it's not as, something kind of like that. So it doesn't look so low res. It looks fine, but the letters look a little weird. So I'm just gonna, 3 seem to do it. Now, oh, here's a thing you can do as well. So say that you want to have your main logo, you like kind of like the density of the metal there, or the metal texture on this one, but you want to increase it even further here. Element has this, instead of materials, you can go to objects. And what we could do is duplicate the 2 and press Control. If you Control click on an object, it will actually, let's turn off one for now. It will select it here. We can Shift Control these ones here. That way you know which one's 0, 1, 2, 3, and then turn them off. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to rename this title TruePlay Studios text. I think I named the other one text. Rename. Oh. Cool. And then I gotta turn off the rest of them on this one. So if I turn this one back on and turn this one off. So if I select, Control Shift select the logo again, you can actually Alt click and then we'll keep it on. But we want the text back. All you have to do is select, alt click the selected layers again, and it will flip it. So the layers that you have selected now are turned off, and then the letters come back. But now, because, oops, this is the text. I turned off the wrong layers for each one. Then UV for the text. Oh, turn the logo portion back on. What? Okay. I'm going crazy. Okay. So click on your text, and now you can go in and say like 5 and 5. Yeah, that's a little better. But it doesn't adjust this, so I can sort of see it kind of flickering down there because I'm going really, really fast between 12 and like 0. It looks like noise on my title there. But we can see, if I zoom out a little bit, it's not affecting the logo anymore. It's kind of like its own object. Okay. Actually, we'll come back. We'll come back. Let's do, see if this works. Okay. I'm just gonna go to the position real quick. 140 and 40.8. Now let's see if it lined up. Let's read back to the final comp. We're getting there. So blackout and final comp. I just want to see. Turn this on and off. Yay! I got it right. It's 1.40 and 40.8. Just want to make sure it perfectly lines up. Okay. On to the next one. Glow shapes. So on this one, we'll click scene setup. Now on glow shapes, I want to keep this folder, or actually 2 folders, because we got not glow and then we got glow orange, or you can change it to like glow blue. We'll actually do glow blue, but we're going to turn these layers off because this element layer for the lights, because I have it animating where the lights are off and then it brightens up and turns on. So we're going to start with the not glow first and go import 3D objects. Okay. 1.40 and then 40.8 and then rotate. Oh, probably didn't mention this earlier. If you wanted to snap, like what I'm doing here, so I can flip it around. I don't know why it's flipped the wrong direction. I'm holding down shift as I rotate, because right here, it's not snapping. But if you hold down shift, it will snap. Okay, so these are going to be our glow shapes, which we want. So I actually want these corners to glow here. Oh, make sure to switch it to 3D object select. So I want that turned off. I want to keep this. I want to keep, maybe I'll have this eye glow, or this little dot on the eye. Which all of these, actually, Control Shift, probably Control Shift for the items that you want isolated to glow. Oh, come on. Control Shift. Oh, Control Shift. Yeah, just do those 3 and then Alt. So we isolate those. And then we will name this glow shapes, no glow. Whoop, no glow. Press OK. Then I want to duplicate this and move it to the orange glow. And rename this one glow. Glow shapes glow. And then I'm going to duplicate this because I want to keep this color. So just in case you want to come back to the OverWatch logo and still have the orange color that I've set, we're going to right click on this bright light and duplicate. Bright light, copy, bright light, Play Studios. And select that and change the color. Boop. We got our no glow, which we gotta make sure to, which material did I put on this? Really? Oh, is this just not on? Bright, it's the same thing, bright light, but I turned it black. There we go. I always saw like looks like a light bulb but turned off. Still has that shine or reflectivity. And then press OK. So now, if you're running a little like slow or laggy when you scrub through the timeline, it's because this is set to 4K. Just make sure your computer has enough RAM and processing speed to render this. Because I want to make sure, because YouTube and TVs are becoming 4K now. I just wanted to make sure that this was also in 4K. So if I go to quarter, so if I drag this, see how those, so now I have it. So you still have the shiny part of no glow, and then it slowly brightens up to the one that's glowing. But now these are out of place now. So, before we continue, make sure to save. We'll turn the optical flares off for now. I'm going to focus on the hot spots. So in my original, or in the original like OverWatch logo before we started editing it, these looked like a light bulb. At the center of the light bulb, it looks really, really hot and bright, and then as it gets to the edges, it kind of like softens a little bit. So that's what I tried to do, kind of like with these solid layers, these color layers here. So if I go like this and select this one here, we can take the pen tool and kind of do the same thing. Not all the way on the edges, because I don't know if peach will be the color I stay with, but that's peach's color. You can kind of bring that out. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's light. It's not 100% even, right? And then I'll go into the mask. I'll delete this other mask. Now the reason why I'm not creating a new solid and just masking it out, because this layer is animated to go along with when it brightens up. We want to make sure we keep that. So I'm just creating another mask on that same layer here, and then made a new mask and deleted the old mask. And you can bring that up. So to bring up the mask on the layer, you just press M, And it brings up mask 1, mask 2 for the other layer. This one just only had 1. But for the mask, I'm going to press F. So if you select the layer and press F, it brings up the mask feather. And we can kind of soften that. Bring it out a little bit more. I want that hot spot, but have it slowly fade towards the edges. So if we turn this back up to full, because I know it's blurry. So if we have, yeah, I'll go with it. So if I turn this off and on, it just looks a little bit more lively, if that's the term. More expressive. I just have to adjust this just a little more. Maybe feather it more. Then shrink it. Actually, I liked it better the other way. But this is still the peach color. Maybe I switch it to kind of like a bluish. And make it a bit more white. Yeah, just adds a little bit of life to it, I guess. So to make sure I get the same, so solid settings. So copy this color number here and move over to this one and place the same color number. Delete one of those circles because I only have one circle now. Ooh. Now, if you double click on a mask, it selects it like this. Right there. I don't know. Oh, maybe I want it a little bit smaller. Actually, because it wouldn't look like it's coming from the center, so I probably want it to bleed into this side a little bit. I don't know. Let me zoom out. Let's see if that even looks. I have to do exactly what I'm doing. Kind of take your own kind of like spin on it as far as placement. Yeah, that looks okay. And then I actually have to go back to the other one. Mask. I'm gonna duplicate this mask. Move it over. Shift and rotate. Kind of put that. Now these are also 3D layers too. They look better straight on, but say that I add a new camera here. Still, I might have to play with the positioning a little bit more. Just where my camera is, for the first camera, it looks okay. If I rotate though, yeah, it starts to fall apart when you rotate it. Might have to do some adjusting on that one, but directly head on it works. Okay, now that we have that done, I'm just gonna scrub through here real quick. Oh, It's not rendered in 4K. That's going to take a little bit. So it's going to drag it. You can kind of see it here, actually. So if I turn off these hot spots, so this is it powering up just by itself. And then if I turn on that hotspot, it just looks a little bit cooler when it's turning on. Like it's brightening up in the center, and then okay. So if we go back to Final Composite, okay, so it's coming along. Just got to do a few more things. So if we turn off reflection, the other one, we kind of scrub through. We got the black background, and then the glow lights. And then the main color starts to fade on. And let's see. Okay, so what you could do also is, because this on the outer edges of the title here, on this main color, because this is animated, so if I soloed this, this mask right here is, if I turn on the transparency, this is fading on with that texture, but we're getting some transparency on the edges here. So what you could do is press U while you have the main color selected. Go to the frames and kind of right there. Line it up. Because if you have it off to the side and then you adjust it, it's gonna like pop. It causes yeah, it's doing this weird thing. But if you put it on the end keyframes here, you can then kind of adjust it so it takes up the whole thing. Okay. Then maybe the feather. Bring that down. Whoops, I totally turned off the feather. I should keep the feather. I think it's my light, actually. Main color, spotlight, AA. Yeah, it's my light. So when you go back to the main color, you just need to make this cone angle wider. That way. That's better. It still does the pretty well, actually. Okay. Now we're going to go to the reflections. No color. Main orange color / lighting. So I'm going to turn off this highlight, because in the logo, the point lights were still not giving me the bright edges I wanted on this inner logo here. So if I turn that off, you'll see that I kind of adjusted that. So I turn that off. Gonna select all of the lights here. Oh, didn't keep the color, but that's okay. Kind of spitballing. Spitballing? Eyeballing? Okay. I'm at 3D. Scene setup. Import 3D logo. Drag that up. Turn these layers off. 140. 80.4. Whoops. Make sure you have your 3D object selected. 140. 80.4. Switch it around. Okay. What? It's 80.4, wasn't it? Oh, maybe it was 40.8. Yeah, that looks like it. There we go. Okay. But I want to adjust where these lights are. Just take the light. Front. Whoops. Here's the color of my lights. Drop it over here. Okay. But I made the light over here. Delete that light. Move this one. Kind of right there. Just kind of creating like the light is being emitted onto the yeah, there we go. Just gotta play with the positioning. Just want it. Yeah, kind of like that. Oh, full. Yeah, because it's kind of darker in the middle here. Wonder why I have to turn these up so much compared to the other one. 3,000. No. Oh, wait. I think I know what's happening. I forgot to switch the material. Metal diffused. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm like, why do I have to turn these up so bright? Yeah. Let's go back down to 300 and pull these out. Okay, so I want that being lit. And up, over, back. And then this one. Closer. A bit further. Outside. Yeah, there we go. Yep. It's just the material. Use the metal diffuse. And it seems to work better. We press save. We gotta save our work. Logo. And color Vibrance. I'll switch that to blue. I'll make sure we can see the color. So because the other color might have been brighter, let's adjust some of these curves here. There we go. Kind of play with it. See the look that you want. Let's say 50% tint. Yeah. So now if we turn that off and on, now we're looking like we're getting light being cast on to kind of like the metal here. Last but not least, there are reflections. So if we open the reflection, do the same thing. Go to Element 3D, scene setup. Import, logo. Okay. Put that at the top. Turn off these. Select it, 1.4 and 40.8. Flip it around. Press OK. Whoops. Got one important thing. We gotta put the chrome on it. Press OK. And then swap the colors. Lights to more blue. Now these are animated. They move just a little bit. But I want to get some reflections up here. Duplicate. Let's see if that does anything up here. Move it up here. Oops. Come on, position. Just have to reanimate these. Maybe it's the reflection map. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So I'll get some highlights on the top. There we go. I just wanted some highlights on the top part of the shape here. There we go. So we're going to set a keyframe there. Make it go towards the end. And rotate that just a little bit. That way it looks a little animated. And then actually I'm going to create null object, make that 3D, and attach all the lights to it. So all the lights are animated left to right. What I did is I parented all the lights to the null object, and I can move all of the lights without affecting their animation. Yeah, right there. You can kind of play with it. You can delete the lights, add your own lights, change it, kind of get the look that you want. However, position, delete. Move that over here. You're my new light. Duplicate. 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 I'm wondering why it's not affecting the top of the logo. It's like affecting this stuff down here. It's really weird. Is this not Chrome? I'm pretty sure it was Chrome. Yeah, it's Chrome. Maybe I need to choose a different environment for it to that's a bit dark though. That's the one I had. Okay. Position. Kind of right about there. Move them over. Okay. We'll go final. Turn. Aha! It's coming together. That's cool. Okay, last thing we gotta do, turn on the fabric. And then these 3 lights. So we're gonna move this one. Doesn't have to be, yeah, kind of right there. This one where the eye is. Gonna have to eyeball it. Then make it the same color. Save your work. Then ta-da! This is where it starts to make your computer run slow. So then the other piece starts to like fade on. Now, you can change the color of this spotlight. This spotlight just kind of animates on. See if I can see it, get it for you. Yeah, it kind of animates on towards the bottom, just kind of creates this color shining on, just for like background. But there we have it. And that's how you use this template to kind of add your own kind of logo on it. Now, I also included, so we'll save. So if I close all these other layers here. So we got the Overwatch logo. We got the play of the game element. So I included this too. I think I included it in my last version of this. But go to the comps here. There's also like play of the game. Oh, that's video one. Oh, there you go. Here's eliminated. So you can change the name here. So if you click on, double click on it. True play. Over 9,000. 99. And then we can move that flame icon closer. Kind of center it. So that way you can kind of create your own eliminated in your video editing. So this is just a image that you can make and edit. And then when you're done, you can go to composition, save frame as file. And then you can name it like a PNG sequence. Save it as a transparent image and then put that in your video. Here's the death skull. So that way, this just repeats. Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't repeat, but it repeats if you let it keep playing. But if you wanted this in your video too, all you have to do is go to composition, add to render queue, not frame as, and switch this to AVI to QuickTime, and say RGB plus alpha. That way it renders the alpha here. And then you can put that animated in your video editing software as well. There's also play the game. Oh, yeah. So I have this here, so you can kind of add your own like video in the background. Same thing. If you wanted to bring this over to your video editor, same thing. Add to render queue, QuickTime, save as QuickTime RGB plus alpha, just like the previous one. But I made it so that the blue layers, because there's two slightly different versions. So if you load up the blue layers, it kind of animates in and then kind of close. If you turn on the purple one, just a simple like, doesn't animate in as much. But if I double click on this guy, even though I'm editing the blue layer, I've made it so it also update the purple layer. So just update the blue layer. Don't double click this and edit the purple. Click the blue. That way, this is awesome. Yes. Awesomeness. So when you turn off the blue layer, turn off the purple layer, turn on the blue layer. It's all the same. And also have this banner, so you can put it over the video itself, starring Bob. And then same thing, save frame as, file, PNG, and then you can bring that into your video editor. So just some play of the games. Now, if you wanted to, I know in my original one, I had the OverWatch logo and then the title, but I also had the camera pan down, revealing only the title, not the logo, and it showed 2 videos. So you can put it at the end of your OverWatch video if you wanted to. So the camera is parented to this null object here, but this null object is parented to the main camera control. So when I move this null, it's also controlling all of the nulls in the other compositions so that the camera is in the same position in every composition. Okay, I was kind of getting worried there. I'm like, oh no. So you just press U on this main camera control null. So I have it pull up and have it pull out. And then you can extend this. And then from here, so you can say up. And then you can make it go down. There we go. Let's see. Just so we can see the title. Kind of like right there. And then what you could do is take these play of the game video and video 2, bring those in. Make them 3D. But we want to make sure that it's accept shadows, but not accept lights. So we have these. Position. Here's a problem though, if you do it. You see how this is being cut off. Essentially what you have to do is take this fabric, make it go up higher. But did it make it too big? That's really big. Let's actually restore that. I think it was like 126. And then we'll just duplicate it. Position down. I don't think it's close enough that I don't think anybody would notice. Okay. Now we go to play the game. Scale. We'll make that 50. Maybe about 80. 70. Yeah. So play the game 1. Okay. Now we just go into Is it this one? Nope. This one? Nope. Oh. Ah! I'll bring this in. It's not Overwatch. I don't have any Overwatch videos. So we go to video number 1. You paste your video. Let's make this go down here. Let's say what? Come on, video. Thank you. So we put our video in here. Then we go back and go to number 2. Let's say you have a different video. And this is Apex Legends. Go back to Final Composite. And there we have it. But you can have these kind of fade on. Let's see, when does it start to move? Let's do easy ease. Keyframe assistance, easy ease. Let's make that faster, actually. Then the video opacity. Drag that over. Set it to 0. Now the reason why this looks so close here is because these are actually further back in 3D space. Set the scale. Maybe the scale will be 50 now. Then what we could do is go into this tracker thing. Tracker thing. Zoom in a little bit. Come on. I want these 2 frames. Normally it's supposed to let me. I don't know where my little handles went. That may be so I can adjust these. I guess I'll just use this for now until I figure out where those handles went. I want. So usually these handles are supposed to be here. So if you have the handles here, it lets you adjust how. So it's gonna go slowly build into the motion, quickly speed up, and then quickly slow down, or slowly slow down. That's what I'm kind of aiming for. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Now my frames are a little too close. You're supposed to have your little like handles to be able to adjust how fast you want that. You can kind of get the motion how you like it. Yeah. More editing needs to be done to kind of get the motion that I'm looking for. But you can kind of whoops. Oh, this one and this one. Now motion flow, this little plugin does also cost. Oh, there's an update. This also does cost. I think it was like 10 or 15 bucks. It's a very useful tool. You just select the two keyframes you want. You have kind of like these preset ones, like you see here. You can also adjust it kind of like right here, and then click apply. It's a very useful tool. Quick editing without having to click this and see all of this in each like X, Y, Z. So you can just do some quick. Yeah, there we go. So it goes into your video. And then you have your other video. This is definitely not Overwatch, but your other video links to your other videos in your YouTube page. All right, it's been a while that I made a tutorial, so hopefully this was helpful on being able to edit and use this template. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments in the video. Comments on the page. Thanks for watching.